Hello, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. Today I want to talk about something that we see highlighted quite a bit. And what is that? Grown men fighting over Pokemon. Yes. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for the hobby. But the thing about that statement is we never hear grown men fighting over sports cards. Why is that? Well, I don't know. If you're fighting over sports cards, it's almost like a race to put yourself in debt. It's like I'm racing to get back my old, college debt level that I used to have when I graduated from college. When I look at sports cards, I feel the same way. It's like, do you want to get into sports cards? Do you want to go deep into debt? Do you want to try and get into country clubs that likely won't let you in? Yeah, that's the level of, the current age of sports cards, I should say. That's the level I'm at, when it comes to sports cards. I'm not a breaking company. I don't own a breaking company, okay? I'm just a single guy struggling to survive in, kind of a rough economy. We can't say it's not. I can hardly afford a gallon of gas at this point in time, And that takes me to this post from The Hook. And this came out today, May 12th, 2026, this morning. Anyone buying 2026 Topps Chrome VeeFriends? Well, I'm not, I just don't buy into Gary V and VeeFriends and his connections to Michael Rubin and Topps and all that. I look at it as just another attempt to, get more money out of a public that doesn't have a lot of money. You know what I mean? And so Topps goes all in on this. Let's throw the Topps Chrome label on it, these kind of cheesy animations. If I want to get into animations, I'm not looking at this product. You know where I'm looking. I'm looking at Pokemon. I'm looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm looking at One Piece. I'm looking at maybe MTG, whatever, That's where you go for awesome animations. You don't go to Topps Chrome and, one of Michael Rubin's buddies' little ideas to try and make some cash, okay? So I just think that VeeFriends is a joke. I know there's a lot of your big influencers who love Gary V, and they can keep loving him. I've never met him. He is who he is. He's just another, YouTube favorite, social media guy. So let's see what people are saying. I want to get it, but I just don't get it. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's just like, I don't get what this is supposed to be. Shit idea and stupid product. Yes, you said it. That's the same way I feel. Doug replies, agreed. These were on fire and whatnot last year. I had people climbing over each other to buy these things. And he says, wild. Yeah, that is wild, My VeeFriends excitement meter is 0 out of 10. Yeah, that's where I'm at too, I'm looking at this card. I'm going, am I supposed to be excited about this? Let's face it, looks like AI art slapped on a card. Are we supposed to get excited? Eager Eagle? I don't know what this is supposed to be. This is the type of IP that we're all going to look back on down the line and say, I can't believe people fell for that grift. FOMO plus loud voices plus an AI army spouting off about this property and Gary V comments and Fanatics posts fuels the hype beast and somehow people fall for it. Yeah. People may be falling for it, but I just don't know if their checkbook or credit card or bank accounts are falling for it. That's just it, I said it before. Why would I even be involved in this set? I'd be rushing to buy Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, maybe MTG, maybe One Piece, whatever, over this product, But, everyone has a right to get into what they get into. Hey, if you like VeeFriends, get into VeeFriends. I don't really see the point of VeeFriends, what's so great about it. I'm just not buying into the hype, okay? So this post really stood out to me. This came out yesterday on May 11th, 2026. Comes from Will Stern, like it says. I get that much of the Pokemon world is fueled by nostalgia. But to the degree it has overtaken sports cards, it confuses me considering adults generally continue to engage with and watch sports at a far higher level than, say, playing Pokemon games or consuming the media. And yes, I would agree, I'm not sitting here, watching Pokemon cartoons, or playing Pokemon video games, but I do have plenty of Pokemon TCG cards, okay? And I enjoy them because I can enjoy them, okay? I like the artwork. I like the fact I can afford to purchase them. I don't feel like I'm having a bunch of limitations put on me, like from Michael Rubin, Topps Fanatics, with all their, privilege that they give towards breaking companies and gamblers, say, over consumers. And so I'm seeing more and more people get excited about TCG these days because, like in my previous video, to me, TCG feels like freedom. There are so many opportunities that you can, get into with TCG, whether it's the fact that you have competition, all right, to keep the prices down. I mean, you have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, MTG, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z. It goes on, and it keeps the prices down. You have Lorcana as well. When you have a sports card monopoly, it's truly a country club on so many levels, that most of us don't feel like we're even a part of it anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, hey, maybe if I was a monetized YouTube influencer, like I see these monetized YouTube influencers, maybe I could afford to do some breaks on my channel, but I can't afford to do that, rip boxes open. I'm just struggling to survive, and no one's ever helping me out, So I can relate to what these people are saying in this post, so let's get into it. Sports are no longer creating core memories. Live sports have been priced out for most families. Hundreds to thousands to see a game, possibly much more for a game of importance. Cheap to rip a pack, pull a chase, and create a moment that lasts forever. This is just the beginning. Yeah, and that's the great thing about TCG is you can use them to play games with, Kind of like, poker cards. I used to do a lot of Texas Hold'em in the early 2000s, when I used to gamble a lot. So I can see why, someone might look at TCG and go, it's just a lot more fun than dealing with those rotten sports cards and all their, high prices out the gate. Not to mention the horrible monopoly that Topps Fanatics runs. The bar to entry is much lower, and Pokemon's ability to get new generations into it is unbelievable. Sports comparatively struggles more with that. You don't have to keep up with Pokemon if you don't want to. You can keep collecting the one gen you were into forever. Yeah, if you like, first generation Pokemon, you can keep collecting that stuff. With sports, everything is a headache, because a lot of times the athletes are up and down, and it's really tough to judge a lot of these athletes. A lot of times I put my faith into a rookie, and more often than not, that rookie just tanks, and a lot of people get tired of that, especially with the amount of money that you have to spend on sports cards. 99% of sports players are worthless. Travis Hunter and any hot rookies can go to zero immediately. Even Ohtani can still have a derailed career. Mike Trout price is more evidence. Pokemon's run is becoming multi-decade and GOAT IP with Disney, LOTR, etc. Seems safe by comparison. Yeah, that's just it. I mean, really, when you start to look at Pokemon TCG compared to sports cards and the volatility of sports cards, they're much riskier. I mean, to me, a lot of the Pokemon TCG cards or even, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, whatever, they're almost like a bond compared to like a stock. The stock is like the sports cards, very volatile. Whereas, say if you get into savings bonds, you're more guaranteed to make your money. Like I used to buy savings bonds around 2000, 2001. I'd buy them for like $50 a bond, And within a few years, they had matured to where they were supposed to mature at. And so that you just a lot safer bet with bonds than stocks, And I kind of see that with TCG in comparison to sports cards. Back to, so why are sports cards so expensive? If they're so volatile, keep those prices low. So anyway, I mean, how do you feel about this issue? Are you excited for VeeFriends from Gary V and the Topps Chrome issue? Or are you just telling yourself, I'm doing TCG because they give me an open door, they give me a lane, whereas sports cards, Topps Fanatics, and all their BS, is just really a closed door for the consumer. You know, it really is. Anyway, I'd like to thank my subscribers. You're the reason I do these episodes. I'd like to thank my viewers as well. If you could hit a thumbs up, that would really help me out. And hey, if you could subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome because I can continue to improve it. And if you're subscribed, just keep an eye on the subscription list to see when new episodes come out. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.